Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening and thank you for tuning into a brand new episode of The Nation Wants to Know. I'm Deepti Sachdeva. Now, what's been happening in the state of Karnataka? Do you believe that there is a larger plot behind usurping farmers' land? This is a story that Times Now led and the Times Now network, in fact, broke just about few days earlier. The story today has become far bigger because what has been proven is that there is a larger sinister plot to not just usurp the land, but also to declare that that land is a Muslim land. It belongs to the Waqf. Remember, a lot of these pieces of land are actually belonging to Hindu and Christian farmers. All that is now being called the Muslim land because it belongs to the Waqf. Now, what is even worse is that ever since the story broke, there is a new angle that has surfaced in this entire controversy. Now, this is that without giving notices, without giving any intimation to these poor farmers that you see on your screens, what happens is that the name of the Waqf Board, and listen to this very carefully, the name of the Waqf Board is quietly, very discreetly added to the mutation papers. In fact, this is column 11 of the RTC, the Rand Revenue Records. And all this happens just 2 days after you have a sitting minister in Karnataka holding a Waqf Adalat and speaking to people saying कि जल्दी से इस पूरी प्रक्रिया को खत्म कीजिए. So is there a larger plan to usurp that land? And is there a Congress hand behind that? That is a bigger question. Is Rahul Gandhi aware of what the government in Karnataka is doing? Or much like always, he's in the dark. And all this, look at the timing, which is very critical. Happening just days before you will have the winter session of the parliament that is expected to look at the Waqf bill. That is at the JPC. Because the problem is not just in Karnataka. If you look at a bigger picture, the controversy has traveled far and wide. Even in Delhi, there was a lot of protest earlier. We've seen violence on the issue of Waqf in the parliament, in the JPC earlier. Violence. Can you believe that? All this is happening because the government says that we need to amend the Waqf bill, and why not? The same Waqf Board that has been claiming that it owns the Taj Mahal, the land of the Taj Mahal, the parliament. Who knows, tomorrow it can say that even the land that you own, the flat, the house that you own, belongs to the Waqf. So for how long can this continue? Should we not rein this in? And has the Congress government in Karnataka gotten exposed? Just take about a few seconds now to listen into responses that have come in both from the Congress and the BJP. And this will expose why we believe that there is a larger sinister plot, the hand of the Congress behind this usurping.
Without notice, Indi Tashildaru, without notice, ಆ 41 ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟೀಸ್ಗೆ ವಿತೌಟ್ ನೋಟಿಸ್ ಇವತ್ತು ದಿವಸ ಇಂಡೀಕರಣ ಮಾಡಿದರು. ಯಾರು? ಇಂಡಿ ತಹಶೀಲ್ದಾರ್. ಅದನ್ನ ಈಗ ಸೋಮೋಟೋ ಎಸಿ ಅವರು ಅದನ್ನ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದನ್ನ ರೆಕ್ಟಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ notice ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಅದರ ಮೇಲೆ rectification ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ.
After Bharatiya Janata Party has taken this issue seriously, now MB Patil is trying to create more and more confusion. So Congress party is trying to play its dirty game in this issue also. It's mainly because the Congress party, Congress government, they always believe in appeasement politics.
So what is behind this land loot, and can this continue? How will we end this quote-unquote Waqf terror is what we are calling this. Let's quickly open this up with our panel of guests. Joining us, we have Tom Varakan, who's the BJP's national spokesperson, along with Mohan Krishnaji, who's a former media advisor to the ex-chief minister Basavaraj Bommai. Rahul Iswar is a noted activist. He has some very, very strong opinions on the entire issue. On the other side, it's a versus with Mr. Mecca, who represents the Congress on the show. Tausif Ahmad Khan is a lawyer and a political activist, does lean towards a Trinamool. And Haji Rangrezji, who represents the AIMIM, is completing our panel. Mr. Mecca, let's begin by asking you that because the Congress has been caught here, so you will say this is, an error in the Gazette. But can you tell me how could all this happen without the knowledge of the top brass in the state? Or in the Congress, the right hand does not know what the left hand is doing? Mr. Mecca, you can hear us? Okay, not sure if he can. But let me then get in Tausif. Tausif, if you've heard that question, you still are in alliance with the Congress when it comes to the big, India picture. Do you believe something like this can be tolerated, this can be normalized?
Of course, any error in the Gazette notification takes place because it is not within the knowledge. And that is why the rectification has to be made when the government, when the minister himself has clarified this position, that this was due to a error in the Gazette notification and that it will be rectified, then there is nothing left in this matter. Any BJP person who is calling this a Waqf terror is a joker. He is making a fool out of himself because the word terror is very serious. Our Jawans have faced terror. We people of India are the victims of terrorism. And we see that every now and then in borders and in cities. So please, any buffoon of BJP, any joker of BJP should not be allowed to use your platform and call this as a Waqf terror.
Tausif, we should just be mindful of the language. See, I haven't even said anything to you. I mean, yes, you are enraged, and I'm glad that this word Waqf terror has caught your attention. Because think of the farmers there, poor farmers who have nothing else but this piece of land. We've been speaking to them. Our teams have been on ground zero. What should they be doing if, someone comes and tells them that, listen, you need to vacate your place because this is a Waqf land? What should they be doing? Isn't that terror for them?
No. It's a non-issue. It's a joker. Anyone who is discussing this, anyone who is terrorizing the farmers on this issue, he's a joker because the government himself, the minister himself has said that there is an error in the notification.
The same minister goes across. The same minister goes across. He takes Waqf Adalat.
Will not apply.
Mohan Krishnaji, is this too much of a coincidence that hours after he goes around different districts, he gives directives to the Tehsildars ki please identify the land that belongs to the Waqf. All this is coming before you will have the parliament discussing the Waqf bill. This is a non-issue. We must not be talking about this.
Deepti, very good evening to you. Look at the way the Congress people are supporting themselves and this Congress government, which is, as you rightly said, you have put out, Waqf terror, land. पहले था लव जिहाद, अभी हो गया लैंड जिहाद. ये हो गया कांग्रेस का कमाल, ये हो गया उन लोगों का अपीसमेंट पॉलिटिक्स का heights of appeasement politics. Now, coming to the point, he's saying discrepancy. Who has to see the discrepancy, Deepti? The present government. What are they doing? They are immersed in corruption. They are immersed in nepotism. They are immersed in appeasement politics. Where do they have eyes and ears to listen to all these things? Where do the farmers have to go from here on now? This is one side of the light, one side of the thing which has come to the light. There are so many aspects like this. There are evidences that 3 days before, Mr. Jamir Ahmad Khan, when he went there, he has spoken to the people there, "Aap chup rahiye, aap logon ko sab mil jayega." This is what he has promised. And what is Siddaramaiah is doing? What is Rahul Gandhi is doing?
So, Mohan Krishnaji, do you allege that both Rahul Gandhi and the Chief Minister in Karnataka are aware of this? You are saying they are not in the dark. This is a larger plot, yes or no?
Absolutely. They are not in the dark at all. They know it very well.
Okay.
They have done it purposefully. And they want to create flutters amongst the Hindus and make sure that the appeasement politics goes to the height and their 19% vote remains with them.
Okay, that's a big charge. I want to see if we can get in Mr. Mecca here. Mr. Mecca, I hope you can hear us this time around. Now tell me something, sir. Do you believe this is a non-issue?
Yeah.
For how long can you control, all this and say ki this is just nothing but an error in the Gazette notification?
No, once the minister clarified that and backtracked the Gazette, and where is the issue? Why do we need to think like some always spin out?
But what was the game plan? Mr. Mecca, what was the game plan?
There is no game plan. There was a mistake. An inquiry has been ordered, and people are going to look at it.
In that case,
right? Why do we always plan for a conspiracy?
And let the protest be stopped then.
It's not important to ask questions of accountability, Mr. Mecca,
No, it's
because the opposition does not buy this. The BJP alleges that there is a larger plot to usurp this land, the land that belongs to the Hindu and the Christian farmers there, and call all this Waqf land, Muslim land.
No, yeah. See, I'm not blaming anybody. See, people are obviously they're going to get concerned and will raise questions. We should be able to answer. But at this point, the government has clearly accepted the mistake and backtracking on this. And an inquiry is ordered, and there's no point in thinking of any conspiracy or anything.
So you're saying this is a mistake. Now, I do not know what to call this, Tom, before I get in Rahul Ishwar also, because we had a similar instance reported in Tamil Nadu. In Bihar, you had almost the entire village that was given a notice, Mr. Mecca, you must be aware. Waqf said, "Ye hamari zameen hai, khali kar dijiye." And you're saying this is a mistake. Tom, do you buy that?
They started with Delhi Airport, Waqf property. Then Parliament House was Waqf property. Now, point is, there's a limit for all this nonsense. And he says an investigation has been ordered. What kind of investigation are we talking about? There is that Waqf Board, and they have a body which is quasi-judicial, which you cannot appeal against it. Once they take a decision, neither the High Court nor the district courts nor the Supreme Court can even examine it. So what are we talking about? What mistake are we talking about? 1954, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru introduced the Waqf Board legislation. Then 1995 came the killer instinct of the Congress, giving teeth and power to the Waqf Board, followed by 2018. This is cold-blooded appeasement. And this is Rahul Gandhi is absolutely aware, because it is his family that has done this Waqf mischief. And the whole idea is to create appeasement, create a vote bank, like they hope in Wayanad, They hope that in Karnataka, that is the operation that's going on. Village after village in Tamil Nadu is Waqf Board property. Tomorrow, your house and my house, Waqf Board decides this belongs to them. We have hard-earned money. We buy a property, get it registered, and these guys come and say this is Waqf Board.
So, Tom, why don't you do something about this? We need to end this.
We are doing about. We are going to look at it. We are going to look at it with a sharp lens, and we are going to correct the positions that are there. And now you have a situation in Delhi where the Chief Minister says a presentation was made, I was not aware of it. They're all washing their hands of the ground reality. Whether it is Delhi, Karnataka, Kerala, or any state where there's Waqf property, this is the operation, washing hands, because they realize this is a very serious situation that's emerging.
But Tom, people are also asking that what is it that the government can do? You are dependent on the allies. The matter is with the JPC. And this alleged usurping is continuing, state after state after state. Unless you intervene and do something about this, it's going to get problematic. And then the Owaisi's come and say, we will hold a protest. We will protest on the streets in case the Waqf amendments go through. Tom.
Well, they can protest till the cows come home. But let me tell you something. This government has the nerve and the power to change this situation. And that is why it's in the JPC. There's a discussion going on. There is a walkout simultaneously happening, because many of them don't like it, because there's involvement of the Congress party. And the Congress party's hand is clearly visible in this whole operation across the country. This is the land grab moment. Let me put you also on to another aspect, which I think has not been brought out. This Waqf Board does not exist in Turkey, Libya, Egypt, Sudan, Lebanon, Syria, Jordan, Tunisia, and Iraq. Why does it exist in India? It's not there in the Constitution.
So why don't you abolish it? Why don't we just abolish this? I don't think amendments are good enough, Rahul. Isn't it time now to abolish the board? Because can we have a Hindu equivalent to a Waqf board? You know, will we be allowed to have that in the country?
Deepti, two submissions. One, for example, places like Tiruthanjurai, which is in Tamil Nadu, where a 1,500-year-old temple was there. It was claimed by Waqf Board and it had very strong reaction. So my humble request to our Muslim brothers and others who support them is please come forward and reject these kind of over-claims, saying, you know, one high court space belongs to you or one airport belongs to you or Tiruthanjurai temple space belongs to you, unless people come themselves forward and say these are over-claims. For example, in Kerala, 600 fishermen, especially Christian fishermen in a place called Cherai, has been facing this, and Tom Barakan sir knows this. It has been highlighted by Kiran Raju and all. So, you know, you see, there are some disputes. Nobody is debating. We need consensus on this, and we need some kind of a issue solution. And I would request Muslim community themselves to come forward and discourage these kind of over-claims. See, when you over-claim, it leads to friction between communities. It leads to rift inside the community and between Hindus and Muslims. So it's our responsibility and the responsibility of Muslim community and also the Congress party to come forward and discourage these things. It is good that they admitted to the lapse. It's good that they apologize. But please remember the psychological impact and the sociological impact these will create on the minds of others, and please be mindful of such things. That's the reason why a consensus is needed, explanation of the law is needed, and sometimes when the overclaiming comes, it really creates a rift in community's mind. Please be mindful of that, people like Tausif Bhai.
Okay, I think these are good points, you know, that you make, Rahul, but who knows whether this was a mistake or not? Because if you connect the dots, you will realize that a lot was going on, Mr. Mecca, though you nod your head in disagreement. But I need to get in Haji Rangresh ji quickly here, who represents the AIMIM. अब हाजी जी आप ये बताइए कि ओवैसी साहब तो कहते हैं कि भाई अगर ये हकीकत बन गया तो हम सड़कों पर उतर आएंगे. Just, you know, stopping short of a call for violence and provocation, वो कहते हैं कि भाई उतरना ही पड़ेगा सड़कों पर अगर इस तरह की बात हो गई. मुसलमान खतरे में है लगातार आप लोग बोलते हैं. अब आप बताइए कि कर्नाटक में ये क्या चल रहा है?
देखिए मैडम, जहां पर भी हमारी जमीन है, जहां पर नाजायज कब्जे हुए हैं, वो तो छोड़ने पड़ेंगे. और हम
कौन डिसाइड करेगा सर? नाजायज है, कौन डिसाइड करेगा?
पास होकर ये बिल बना. देखिए ये डिसाइड ट्रिब्यूनल कोर्ट करेगा. वक्फ जो नेशनल है वो तय करेगा. और ये जो प्रोपोगेंडा, जो फेक नैरेटिव फैलाया जाता है कि अगर किसी भी मुसलमान ने कह दिया ये हमारी जमीन है और ये वक्फ की जमीन है तो वो हमारी हो जाती है, ये बिल्कुल झूठ और नाकारी बात है, जिसका कोई भी कहीं पर भी ना हाथ है ना पैर है. तो जब हमारे देश में जो लोग हैं जो ट्रिब्यूनल में काम करते हैं या वक्फ में काम करते हैं, वो भारत सरकार और जो राज्यों की सरकारों के लोग होते हैं, वो लोग होते हैं, ना कि कोई मुस्लिम होता है.
नहीं तो हाजी जी आप सपोर्ट करेंगे कि आपकी पार्टी और ओवैसी साहब सपोर्ट करेंगे अगर इस पूरे बिल में सर जो अमेंडमेंट्स प्रपोज की गई हैं आप उसको सपोर्ट करेंगे? आप चाहेंगे कि उसमें बदलाव हो?
नहीं, बिल्कुल नहीं होने चाहिए. हमारे बैरिस्टर असदुद्दीन ओवैसी साहब ने लगातार इसका जो है खंडन किया.
क्यों नहीं होना चाहिए? उन्होंने बताया क्यों नहीं होना चाहिए? आप बताइए ना. अगर इस तरह के फुल पावर्स है सर वक्फ के पास कि कोई भी आपको बोल दे कि ये जमीन आपकी है, मतलब आप छोड़िए आपकी जमीन है, ये तो हमारी जमीन है, खाली करिए.
मैडम
कल बोला, देखिए बोला जा रहा है कि दिल्ली एयरपोर्ट, पार्लियामेंट, ये तमाम सब वक्फ की जमीन पे बना हुआ है.
मैडम सुनिए मैडम, आप सुनती तो है नहीं, अपने आप बोले जाती हैं.
अरे आप जवाब दीजिएगा सर, जवाब दीजिएगा.
कर रहे हैं कि ये जगह वक्फ की संपत्ति है.
हाँ.
सुन तो लीजिए मैडम, वक्फ की संपत्ति है तो पहले कमिश्नर होता है, वो जो सर्वेयर होता है, सर्वे होता है, फिर ट्रिब्यूनल में जाता है मामला, फिर ट्रिब्यूनल में कागज दिखाए जाते हैं.
नहीं, ये तो मजाक है ना सर. अब आप बोलेंगे सुनते नहीं है, लेकिन ये तो मजाक है, इसकी कोई हद नहीं है ना. आप बोलते हैं ताजमहल आपकी जमीन है, आप लोग ये बोलेंगे कि एयरपोर्ट आपकी जमीन है, तो इसका तो कोई एंड ही नहीं होगा ना. इसका कोई एंड ही नहीं है. इसको लोग कहते हैं absurdity. Mr. Mecca, Mr. Mecca, are you looking at how the entire issue is being used by some to polarize? Unless you believe that you can also use this opportunity to polarize your votes, why should you be supporting this loot? 10 seconds.
Yeah, come out of that mindset to polarize and get votes. Nobody is trying to polarize and get votes from anybody. And yeah, obviously people who support BJP will come and say this is vote bank politics of Congress.
You have accepted, sir, that there has been a mistake.
This is, it is a mistake.
So who committed that mistake?
government accepted
And is it as is it by design that your minister in charge is roaming around different districts? He is pressurizing people, and I think that is also on record, Mohan Krishna ji.
Yes, I will show you. I will show you.
I just have the last 10 seconds, sir, to respond to
I will
this.
just show you.
Yes.
I will just show you.
There is a soundbite, I think, of the minister who's roaming around different districts and he's actually pressurizing people, your officials.
Yes, absolutely. See, mistake can happen once, twice. It's in Bihar. It's in Tamil Nadu. It's in Tamil Nadu. Then in other places, now in Karnataka, in Kerala, everywhere. Can you call it as a mistake, Deepti?
We'll let the people decide. I think people are very smart. They can realize what is wrong, what is not. Mr. Mecca, you don't like this, but is there an attempt to polarize votes? We'll keep asking that question because of stories like these and you accepting this mistake. For the moment, thank you to all of you gentlemen for joining.